All right, so this thing's been sitting in the weeds for a long time. It was on Facebook Marketplace for $500. I came down and made an offer of 200, and he said he was good with that. So it's about 50 miles from my house, an hour and 11 minutes away. It's got two flat tires. The hitch is messed up. And I have no idea the actual condition of this, uh, other than that'll spin over halfway. So first matter of business is I'm gonna rip these tires off and get some new tires to put on here. Just some, I don't know, something used, and then this I'm gonna have to get fixed up. It's in bad shape, so I'm gonna pull that off also, because if I'm gonna take this home, that's not gonna be real great like that. um, so this is what it looks like. Like I said, this does spin at least halfway around. I want to get it out of here and get a feel for what is going on with this thing. For 200 bucks, I don't think I can go too wrong on it. I'm sure I could sell some of the parts off of it for $200 or whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pop these wheels off and go from there. All right, so that hitch is off. I was able to straighten it out a little bit, and I'm gonna be able to weld, I'm gonna make it look better than that, weld that back up. Got both the tires off. That tube was filled with water there, so not the tube, the tire was filled with water. It had a tube in it, but I popped it off because I don't feel like hauling this nasty tire filled with water around in the back of my car. Well, when I come to get this, I'll bring the truck. I can throw it in the back of that. So off to get tires. All right, we're back at the Baler. Same day, later on. I got some just shitty car tires put on there, and I took this, welded it up. I'm no professional welder, but it's way better than it was. So I'll be putting that back on, and tires back on, and we should be, I gotta swing this over to that trailering position. We'll see how that goes. Well, I've got the wheels on, got the hitch on. It's trailering really nice. I'm going about 35 miles an hour. I'm not in a rush to get home, so I'm gonna take my time, but it's the first time it's been moved in probably ages, so just take my time, see if I can't make it home. Once it gets home, it's only gonna move like a mile a year, so just gotta get this done. All right, 49 miles down, we are home. It's only got to go a mile from here. Everything went really well. I was really surprised. It trailered really well. I was able to get up to, I don't know, 45 miles an hour is about all I felt comfortable with. I'm gonna have to figure some things out on this because I don't really know how it works, but yep, it is home. So go from here, see if I can't save it. I let that down. It floats really nice. For 200 bucks, I think I got an all right deal, hopefully. All right, I got the baler in the garage. Last night I sprayed every moving part that I could think of with penetrating oil, and I'm gonna spend some more time going over and greasing every part of it. Before I spend this one whole revolution, I want to know that everything has some lubrication on it. And actually, this is a model 269. They posted as a 268. Either way, I don't think it makes much difference. I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between the two, but So I'm gonna grease all this, and then we will spin it over and see what happens. What do you guys think about this? This little part here is super close, like the chain can't go over it. I don't know if that was put on the wrong direction or what in the hell exactly, but I'm gonna turn that up. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. I did try letting this down and to have the head come down, and that doesn't change the position of this. So I'm gonna move that. All right, so everything is lubricated, and I got the little button on the PTO shaft working. I got the PTO shaft sliding back and forth, so it could be hooked up to a tractor. Problem now is the pickup tines are not spinning. Something is binding, so I need to look into that. I get half a rotation. You can see how this belt is loose because that bar that goes across and drives the pickup tines is bound up. So I need to figure that out. I got to get under here and figure out what is holding the pickup tines. The other side, the chain is super tight also, so I don't know if something in here is bound up or what, but you could see even the angle of the chain, it's like pulling real hard. So I'm gonna get under here and see if I can't figure that out. Okay, so the reason the pickup header is not wanting to move is because that assembly that tucks the tines whenever it goes back is kind of bound up just because it hasn't been used in a long time. So I'm going to spray it all down with penetrating oil. I took all the bands off. I'm going to, I don't know, clean them up a little bit, paint them. Who knows? But some of the screws came out real easy. Like this came out pretty decent, but then there was about 5 like this that were just rounded off. So I'm going to get some new bolts to put back in there because I don't want, if I have to deal with this again at some point. I think this is going to be, well, and you can see back there, the top had rotted out and the bottom had rotted out at some point. And someone put a plate of steel on the bottom and the top, so I don't see why this isn't going to work. You know, someone took care of it, or took time that it needed to keep this thing working at some point. I don't know exactly when it ran last, but it's been a while for sure. But I'm gonna get it going. I'm gonna get the tines, a couple of new tines that I might need, and replace them while I have these bands off. I think I need about three sets of tines. But I'm gonna spray that down, and I'll see if I can get this rolling. I got the 30 horsepower Kubota, 32 horsepower Kubota L3200 hooked up to this. I did spin it over a revolution by hand. Yeah, everything's still tight. I think it just needs run and wear in a little bit. This is starting to free up, but you know, I could only spin it so much. So I'm gonna do this at just idle, and you'll see what happens. Either we're gonna break something, or it starts doing good. All right, I got it apart, and these 2 little pins, they look all right, but they're not out far enough apparently. So I think they should stick out further than they are. And that one moves in. This one doesn't move at all. So I think they definitely need some love. All right, so check this out. This side came out. I grabbed it with these vice grips and it popped out. It was a small challenge, but and then I stretched the spring because it was not sitting flush and not catching on these. This one is like gulled in place, but I was able to start it turning just a little bit. So I'm going to keep spraying it with penetrating oil, work it back and forth until I can get it up out of here. And then I took a piece of Scotch-Brite on the end of a drill, and I went down in this hole and cleaned it up. And the pin, I took a piece of sandpaper too and got it all cleaned up. So I will put a a little bit of grease in here to keep them lubricated and moving whenever I put it back together. But let me get this one out. All right, I stretched the springs slightly, put some white lithium grease in there, and they are going back together. I'm pulling it back in right now, and you can see the pins are sticking out past where they were before. So once this is pulled back together, I will toss the shield back on, and we will see how it goes. All right, got that the PTO shaft fixed with those, you know. So let's see now. Alright, so everything is moving as it should. I've been walking around spraying everything just to loosen it up. Seems to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. There's a few parts I need sprayed everything in there. This is all moving. The knotters are tripping, but only manually. So if I pull this up, that little tab right there should come forward and then trip the whole cycle. But it's not, because I think that spring's too little, or it's the arm is stiff. So if I take this little guy, I think it's just stiff. It might not need a spring. See, it's starting to move now. Just a little lube is all this needs. Seems to be working out. If I can spray this all real well. It did have string in it when I started, and it made a knot. I saw it, but you can see part of it right there. I'll still have to clear it out, but I think this is going to make a hay bale with very minimal effort.